I've only got a couple more questions here, and I don't know, Harp, Case, if you guys are ready to or eager to jump in here, but I've got
Yeah.
one, I guess one here. What was your highest high of your junior hockey career? And then after that, I want you to tell me your lowest low. And I know I'm sort of putting you on the spot, but just if you can remember like a time where you were just feeling on the top of the world playing hockey, and then a time where you were just feeling the complete opposite.
Yeah, my lowest low is probably watching Casey right now comb his mustache with his fingers.
That's all of our lowest.
And by the way, for everyone that doesn't know, sorry, did I say Corey or Casey?
Casey.
Casey.
Okay. I thought I said Corey by accident. But for everyone that doesn't know Casey, he's had a goofy mustache since he was 13 years old. So
pretty much. I pretty much. I came in on the Tikis having a goofy mustache because I saw how freaking eccentric your big twirly whirly was. So I had to match it. I had to match it sitting beside you. I couldn't look like a goofball, and I failed that.
That's fair. You tried at least. My lowest low in junior. Actually, let's do highest first.
Yeah.
I've told you guys about that poster. I know you guys have seen the image. It was my second year in the league. It's me, Nick Pilon, Tanner Benton, and John Keane in the photo, and it's like a photo of kind of the three of us in a line. And you could just see the look on my face. I am screaming to high hell. I had just scored. I think I had 2 goals the year prior, and this was the first game of my second season, which I did not think I was going to make the team because the year before we were the worst team in the league, and I thought they were just going to completely collapse, cut everyone, get rid of everyone. And JB said, he's like, we're bringing you back. And I was like, what in the world? And one of my friends that I grew up with, a very close friend of mine, Nick Pilon, he put us on the same line. And Nick Pilon's a big boy, like really skilled. And I just said, like, playing along with Nick Pilon, I was like, if he really wants to like vibe with me in this league, I'm like, we can do some damage. Like we can score some goals. We can definitely forecheck like hell. And I remember just kind of thinking like, this could go okay. So we're about 2 shifts into the game. We're forechecking like mad. I set up Nick in the slot. I don't remember exactly how he scored, but I remember it was like a goal where, you know, we kind of scored and we went to each other and we're like, okay, like we might be able to get used to this. And we were super pumped. And then I think it was in the 3rd period. I don't remember the score, so I'm just going to make it up so it sounds better. It was 1-1 with 30 seconds left. And me and Nick were down on a 2-on-1. And Nick is not a passer. Nick was going to rip that puck totally. So I was just gunning for the net, full speed. I looked over before he shot, expecting the shot. He gave me the most perfect pass you could ever give to anyone in a million years. Backdoor tap in. I skated around the net. Tanner and Keane both knew how like pivotal this was for me because I hadn't signed a contract yet. This was the first game of the season. I had no idea if I was going to be playing. I had no idea nothing. So we went into kind of the corner and I just turned around and I just screamed like, yeah! So I got 2 of my closest friends on the team coming behind me, Keane and Benton. And I got one of my childhood friends who just set me up with an unbelievable pass skating towards me. And you can just see it in that photo. Like, I'm over the moon. Like, I'm like, I got a goal. I got an assist. We played great. Like, it basically was my, like, cementing of I'm playing junior this year. And it was, yeah, it was huge. Like, it was, it really was and for Phil Cal to capture that image.
I was just going to say that.
Magnificently, like, oh, I owe that guy the world.
I was just going to say that.
To get the image blown up, I remember it cost me like $69. And at the time, like, I did not have a job. And I was like, I'm paying that money. I don't care. I'm buying it. And yeah, so I still have the posters in my bedroom. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was my highest moment for sure. That came to mind right away. There could be higher ones. Maybe that time I took acid in playoffs was a higher moment, but so lowest moment would have to just be the getting eliminated my final season, which you guys are all super aware of. To sit on the bench that season or that series and Yeah, just I knew. Don't get me wrong, Prescott was a great team, but I just knew that we could make a much better fight for that series. I'm not guaranteeing we could have won by any means, but I definitely think we could have given them a better run. And it hurts so much to think about. And I remember even, I think it was game 4, I flipped out on the bench, just like, yeah, like I don't know. It really bugs me to think about it. My career shouldn't have ended that way. It really should have been a. Even if we lost, that's not what would kill me. It was the fact that the way we lost, it hurt more than anything. Yeah, I think that would be my. And then, like we just talked about, getting in the fight, and then going to the dressing room and just seeing Sweet Pete, who had been somebody that I've been so close to and adored so much, and he was the first person to. And he made eye contact with me, and I knew that as soon as my feet touched the rubber and I stepped off that ice, I just bawled my eyes out.
Yeah, because that was it.
Yeah, and I wasn't resentful. I was resentful right until that moment. I was so mad at the coaching staff. I was so mad at just everything. I was just mad. And as soon as my feet touched the rubber, I wasn't mad, and I just kind of tried to take it all in as much as possible. And it was a really weird moment for me, but because I can still remember exactly, and there's a video of it too, which you guys have posted, where I remember exactly when my feet got off the ice, and I remember just breaking down and seeing Sweet Pete, and he came up to me first, and seeing Krager and Tim was there, and they just knew how much the game meant to me and that team meant to me. So to know that, and again, it's sad to talk about, but it's just a reality of junior hockey. When your career ends, there's a lot of guys you're never going to see again, and that's just life. Like there's probably 20 guys on that roster I haven't seen since that day. And it's just, you try and do a reunion and you try and get together and this and that. Like there's guys that I was so close with that I still consider some of my best friends, and I haven't seen them in, how long has it been now? 6 years?
Yeah, it's been a while. And that's sort of like why we're trying to do these Tiki's reunion episodes, just because I haven't talked to these guys in forever, and I only played 1 year. You played 4, so you've got those strong bonds as well. So I can imagine how you feel. I always look back on that series, the Gill Cup final, Brockville Tikis against Prescott Flyers in 2014, 13, one of those years.
Idea.
Yeah. I think 13. I think I was a high school senior. Anyway, I always look back on that series, and I believe it was game 2 where we just annihilated them, and it was an 11-2 game.
Yes.
I look back on that, and I always think to myself, I regret the fact that our team just kept putting the pedal to the metal and embarrassing them, because you know what happens when you embarrass a team? They come out even hungrier. You hurt them on a deeper level, and that's exactly what happened. So I think that for me is my biggest, I guess, like collective regret as a junior hockey player, because I do agree that we were the better team in that series, and I always have to wonder, what if we only scored, 6 goals and we didn't embarrass them and we won the game like gentlemen rather than running up the score. So is that something that you've thought about as well, that game too?
Here's Cross, rolls off his stick precariously in the zone, now coming on the right side, going right in, a goal, the shot, another one, shot, he scores! Well, 2-0 Tikis and a giveaway in the Flyer zone.
100%.
Yeah.
And because I remember vividly, I think Corey and Ethan York both had hat tricks.
Yeah.
And I remember they both had 2 goals, and we were up maybe 6-1 at this point. And it was like not even that deep into the game. And I was just thinking, I was like, hey, like they're on fire and we're destroying them. Stop playing those 2. They're gonna fuel the flame. Like if it's like you said perfectly, if it's a blowout, the other team comes back after a blowout like bats out of hell. But if you beat a team 4-3 or 4-1, it's a lot harder to come out of the gate because you just feel like you got outplayed. But when a game is a wash like that, and yeah, he kept putting our power play line out, and I'm just going, dude, like, what are you trying to do here? This is not the right message we want to send. And yeah, no, I've definitely, sadly enough, because I wish this stuff didn't haunt me as much as it does. But yeah, no, that to me, that's an obvious thing you don't do. And it was just something that I tried to voice from the bench. And yeah, but again, how crazy does it feel when you got two players on fire to bench them, right? But
yeah,